Furon, let's take a sneak peek at the level 1 stats. 41 agility we're going to be starting with on level 1. There are some scenarios if they start with gold or something, they could make some really good hero walks across the map. They're almost break even to run away from enemies as strong as a blue dragon here. And we do start with gold, so interesting here with the very high agility start.
And a bonus magic key, so we're going to have access to the back of Tanagil, which you can sell. Well, you can open that door using the 1 key, and then you can buy 6 more keys. So we're going to have a look at the treasury right off the bat here. Everything coming up Millhouse for both of our runners here. Smashy going to head out and back into the throne room to potentially set up a level 1 gold grind.
Yeah, I like that play every time you get an extra key. And, you know, in this case, Lavkian goes to make sure that he buys more keys first. Curious if he'll go and check the basement first, or if he will remember to pop into the throne room for that particular chance at the glitch. But no, straight into the treasury. Let's see what we have.
I'm going to start off with a set of wings. We've got the death necklace. More on that later. Another set of wings. And the dragon scale. So no gold in the treasury.
Yeah, except for the small gold from the death necklace chest, I suppose. But, yeah, so Lavkian is going to stick close to home, not taking advantage necessarily of that huge agility score. Doesn't have a whole lot of gold left over from buying all those keys anyways. And with Smashy's route here, I guess we're going to be seeing what's in the basement next.
Yeah, Lavkian opting not to see what is in the basement, I guess figuring it can go back later, and it is the Staff of Rain Cave. So our runners will trade the Silver Harp in to that gentleman down there in the basement to acquire the Staff of Rain, one of the 3 items needed to access the final castle.
Yeah, what's interesting is they do have 11 strength to start, so they can kill a few of these enemies like the red slime that Lavkian's finding a few times here, but I like that Smashy, he happened to roll pretty high on his gold chest, so he's got a couple of 100 gold left over. He was poking around to see if there was a town, and just again, with this high agility, he could probably make it a pretty long ways, you know, to try and get a quick copper sword or something of that nature, but decides to come back for the primary zone, while Lavkian has a small strength boost on level 2 here.
No gain in the hit points, though. Still rather low here at level 2.
Yeah.
Very subpar.
Lavkian was hoping that that desert to the west was in the primary zone. He's going to try this 1 desert tile slightly to the north, which does seem like it's in the primary zone. Interestingly, with this high agility score, that also translates into unusually high defense. So he's already defense breaking enemies like this Scorpion. So typically, you know, low HP and level 1 or 2, they might be out of the question here, but you know, he was already a little bit damaged, but he actually might be able to take down a Scorpion right now. It's kind of unusual level 1 and 2 stats we got going here.
Yeah, the defense breaking, what that means is when your defense is the same as or higher than an enemy's strength, a different attack range is calculated, resulting in less damage. In the case of the Scorpions, they can hit you for no more than 3, and they can hit you for as little as 0. They can miss.
So finally a ghost, which is right in the wheelhouse here. Lavkian, you know, halfway to level 3 with that. He'll probably be looking for the ghost again. There were red slimes. He seems to not quite be ready for the Scorpion, at least in his mind. So, ooh, and it turns out that that is the north zone there. So the Scorpion actually may have been in the north zone.
Wow.
Magicians have some deadly attacks.
Fire-breathing magicians.
That starts to limit your choices when you're on the early levels, and some of the smallest enemies have some abilities. So, Smashy with the bad news there. He is going to start trying to take a little hero walk, though, out into the overworld. And actually was going to attempt a Druid here, just because, you know, they are even defense-breaking enemies like that, potentially, but no, finds a Drakey now, so there are some enemies to choose from. The Ghost is going to get Lavkian 1 experience point away from level 3. And there's a red slime, so here we go.
Yeah, Druids can hit for up to 4 with the defense that they have here, and now here comes level 3.
One of the other
4
interesting...
power, wow, 11 more speed.
Oh, and it's a hurt more seed. Here we go, guys. I was going to say, before that happened, one of the interesting plays may have been, again, to run out on the world with that high agility, and if you find a town, you actually could sell the death necklace, which they picked up early. That's worth 1,200 gold if you sell it. Now, of course, it has some pretty important uses for later in the game in some cases, but I don't know. I think that would have been an interesting play. There isn't a town very close by, though. They've both gone a screen or two away. But the early hurt more changes everything. Lavkian's going to use that to his advantage here. We're going to see some quick levels now.
$82, the target number for level 5, and Lavkian already on it here. And a question in chat, if you sell the death necklace, can you pick it up again? You cannot, so it's a one and done. Wow, 20 hit points there for the next level. And now here comes hurt more for...
Yep, Smashy just, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute behind with learning hurt more. So that's approximately the lead that Lavkian has in this race. And now it's just fast and furious. They're probably going to stick with these secondary monsters, not go too far out. Well, Lavkian is venturing out because he did get the hit point boost. It's a little bit tough for Smashy until he gets a few more hit points, but yeah, things are happening. Smashy is going to brave this swamp to the southeast, just taking the road less traveled here, hoping that maybe his opponent won't go this way. And if there's something really good over here, it could work out.
Looks like there's a whole nother area here, and Smashy going to go with the hurt more on the gold man to pick up a max 255 gold.
Yeah, that is interesting. Hurt more actually doesn't work very well in the gold man, but it lands that time. I think my foggy memory says it's got like a 3 in 16 chance of landing or something, so nice pickup for Smashy just in case there is a town. He's got a little bit of gold to work with, but no, it's a red dragon.
I'm taking a look here. On average,
gets away.
Notice for Goldmen, they're really resistant to sleep, where it's a 3 out of 16 chance of hitting. But for hurt, they have no resistance to it at all. It's a 0 out of 16. Oh, and not much to resist for a spell of hurt more from the blue dragon either.
Ah, so okay, that was my mistake with the resistance. The gold man is kind of an unusual enemy to be fighting, so not one of the ones I apparently have memorized, so it's good to know. Hard to put him to sleep, though, apparently, unlike their cousins, the Stone Man, later in the game.
And now Lavkian going to make his way through the swamp.
Yep. Tav the dog doesn't have any fear. Trudging right through there. And is this Christo on Smashy's screen?
That is Christo from Dragon Warrior 4.
All right.
So we have the tablet cave on Smashy's side. Thanks to the Radiant spell, we're able to see that. Smashy going to go ahead and walk through this cave. No enemy encounters, but one treasure chest at the end here, as Lavkian now getting up to level 6.
Yeah, no outside for Smashy either, so he's going to have to walk all the way out. It's a little bit of kind of an annoyance, I guess, when you find it like out of the way. So you feel like you have to take care of this now, but you know, you do have to walk both ways. But Lavkian going to do exactly the same thing, so even Steven on that front.
Actual high five there as Lavkian heading into the cave as Smashy going out.
That's our first thing that we've seen besides Tanticle Castle, right? And what was in the basement. So a little bit of an empty map near start, and it is full of some red dragons. We saw one earlier that Smashy managed to run away with that high early agility, but not this time. So Smashy needs one more level to get some hit points to get a little breathing room, and we see on Lavkin's screen the next level after that gives even more hit points. So there's light at the end of the tunnel for Smashy after a few more kills here.
Yeah, in 2 levels, his hit points will triple. And you see the utilization of hurt more, which, well, the Demon Knight, not a great enemy to be hurt moreable, but the Droll Magi, that is very ideal at level 6. Nice 58 experience each time. And already up to 285. 337, the target number to get to level 7.
Yeah, and both runners have started with keys, so this could potentially be a pretty quick seed if we don't see too many of these red dragons. Smashy getting the short end of the luck with just encountering the red dragon so far. Sent back to the castle again. Lavkian does manage to hurt more this Star Wyvern for level 7, so we have a little bit of a lead developing for Lavkian. Tough luck for Smashy so far. See if he can get back in it. So interesting play. I think he was looking specifically for the wolf here. It looked like he was actually grinding in the secondary zone temporarily just to get off this level, recognizing low HP was not the greatest situation. Now he gains a bunch of HP. Expect him to go out onto the map again, maybe, but no, he's going to stick around here and look for another quick level while things are less dangerous over here near the castle. We got Drakimas, we have wolves, a couple other of enemies of that strength around here. Magician's a little too weak, but so interesting play from Smashy, feeling like going out onto the overworld is just a little too dangerous. He's going to take a breather here and pick up another couple of levels.
And Lavkian, meanwhile, traversing the swamp using his last heal.
Yeah, Lavkian's been pretty aggressive with the exploration ever since picking up Hurtmore, and it's paid off. He's picking up experience on the way, finding the Rainbow Drop Cave here. Again, we haven't seen too many locations, and he has covered quite a bit of map already. Taking a little note, presumably on a little scratch pad, because it is a location that he will have to return to later, so he doesn't want to forget where that is. And we do have a town if he can make it, so great job by Lavkian extending those resources. And we do have keys, so we got a whole lot going on in this town.
So the town of Garen, it's got a locked door that holds 3 chests in a basement. Going to take the gold that he has and purchase a hand axe, which will add 15 attack power to his total. That'll help for taking out some of those tougher upper level enemies that may not be able to be taken down by a Hurtmore, such as an Axe Knight, such as a green dragon. And those are good for about 130, 135 experience apiece. As we now in Garen...
2 damage so far for the metal slime, but no. That could have evened things up just like that.
Those metal slimes.
I think I caught a silver shield sighting in that shop as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is a spot that Lavkian could come back very quickly now that he has the grave in the basement. If he gets these chests, there could be a fairly slow gold grind available if he wanted to go that route. And was that the sword? Whew. Lavkian is really on a tear.
And a pair of torches as well.
Let's see if we have sword versus armor here as Smashy hones in on the search spot.
So the town of Cole. It's the armor.
So we got sword on one side and armor on the other side, and it is a Hurtmore seed. So in some ways, I kind of like Smashy's find here better. Sword is useful, as you mentioned, on certain enemies, like the Demon Knight, for example. So, you know, always nice to have the sword, and that's one less thing that you don't have to find later. And he won't be buying any more weapons. He'll have to decide if he wants to do anything about getting a shield. I would think that the Death Necklace chest is just a little too slow of a grind for that. So maybe he'll just look around for a large shield in his travels.
Yeah, large shield costing only 800 for 10 defense points. Meanwhile, the silver shield, 20 defense points.
Yeah, and so far it is a fairly high agility seed, so that translates into some boosted defense as well. Maybe the silver shield not so important this time. Lavkian does take down the gold man, and I'm not sure what just happened because he was a step away from the chest there. But here it is. Nothing consequential for Lavkian. I think we have a cursed belt sighting for Smashy, which means one of the other search spots will be occupied with either the fairy flute or the token. He's already seen the armor in coal, so the other two spots would be finding Cantlin to get coordinates for an overworld item, or defeating a boss enemy in Hawksness for another search spot opportunity. Taking on a green dragon, this is pretty aggressive. I would think that he would be hurt mooring, but finishes it off with a hurt spell. I see a red screen for Lavkian. I'm not sure that he made it to all the chests.
He did not.
And I missed him picking up the silver harp somewhere, but if one of the other quest items, like the Stones of Sunlight, is in that bottom chest, it's possible that he won't go back there for a long time now. Yeah, and Lavkian is going to upgrade that right away. Heads up play here. He happens to be at the castle after a death warp. Might as well take care of this errand en route. Smashy finding nothing much in Mountain Cave so far. It's got a little bit of work to do to get to the last chest with some difficult enemies on the bottom floor and running out of magic.
So yes, there were two cursed belts. One was in the town of Garenham, the other in that first end of the mountain cave. So that confirms that all three search spots are in play. We know that the armor is in coal, so now it's a matter of, is the fairy flute or Erdrick's token in the overworld or in Hawksness?
And I'll tell you what, I feel like this Erdrick's armor has enabled Smashy to get to this Stones of Sunlight chest. He probably would have died in this cave. He was very low on resources. He had some heal walking throughout, one of the benefits of the Erdrick's armor. Plus he was, taking a lot less damage from some of those nasty enemies. And it pays off by actually getting to the bottom chest. It's the Stones of Sunlight. And don't look now, but Smashy has gained quite a bit of an experience lead all of a sudden after being behind by a couple of 100 points early.
Yeah, the experience lead certainly going back and forth. Here's level 9 for Smashy. 7 power, 2 speed, 8 hit points, 8 magic points, and a spell.
Looks like Repel, which is nice when you have a Hurtmore seed, and he doesn't have, he does have the Erdrick's armor, so he'll be repelling monsters kind of up into the middle tier, including maybe that Wolf Lord, which he doesn't mind seeing that when he has Hurtmore, but he could start casting Repel and concentrating on enemies like Knights and Magic Wyvern and Star Wyvern and Axe Knights and things of that nature. Smashy's still going totally weaponless, just lighting everything on fire with the Hurtmore spell. Lavkian finds a whole bunch of things going on. 2 towns in a cave.
Oh, Rimmeldar found here, and actually that's right where Smashy is, so Lavkian not too far away from finding...
Another high five going on here. Right in the end. So another herb picked up in the inn here. Lavkian's going to check the shop. I guess Smashy will as well, because he needs a weapon still. Lavkian's mostly looking for a large shield at this point. Settles for the small shield.
Oh, a blue dragon not able to get away.
Ooh, I love the play to cast Stop Spell, and he could cast regular heal here and hope that the blue dragon, and he could continue to just cast regular heal if he wants, but now he's going to go ahead and run, and he fails. I kind of wonder if he should have kept healing there with the regular heal and hope for the blue dragon to start casting magic there. Had a little bit of a chance to defeat that, but didn't work out that time. He has attack power in the 80s. He could have whittled it down with the Erdrick Sword there. He could have tried to land 2 hurt Moors. Tough battle though. And back to the castle, and Smashy has about double the experience now all of a sudden.
Now you wonder if Lavkian's going to go back into that direction, or if that is going to scare him off here.
So Smashy finds a knight. That's a really nice hurt more enemy, the Wyvern. He's in a really nice zone here, about to pick up level 10 momentarily. I don't think he'll quite do it with this kill, but it's almost there. Metal Slime would really help for Lavkian, but it runs away, as they often do. So we're kind of in the middle phase here. They're making rapid progress with experience. They both kind of need to find the dungeon that the other one found previously. Lavkian's going to need to get the stones from the last chest in Mountain Cave. When he finds that, I don't remember if anything important was actually found in the grave. Was it? Is that where the harp was, or where was the harp anyway?
The harp was in Garenham, which you have to go through to get to Garen's grave, which has Erdrick's sword.
Oh, the grave had the sword as well, yeah. So each is kind of looking for the opposite location that their opponent had already explored. And along the way, if they could find something like Hawk's Nest, they do still need search tiles, since we know that the token is going to be on a search spot. And here's the armor for Lavkian, so he might be pretty much done with equipment here. He could choose to upgrade to the large shield later, but not necessary. Not necessarily necessary? Is that too many?
It might be slightly redundantly redundant.
I'm confusingly confused here. So here we have the mountain cave for Lavkian. Oh, and look at this town tucked away. So Smashy's going to be the first to get coordinates from the old man in Cantlin. While Lavkian, we'll have to see. He has a little bit more to work with to get through this dungeon a bit easier than Smashy did. So I don't expect him to have too much trouble getting the Stones of Sunlight, but we'll wait and see.
And I have to acknowledge, as Chad had noted, that Smashy, quote-unquote, validating the run by searching one of the Sparkover bridge tiles. Sparkover, one of the runners in our community who actually competed earlier tonight over on RPG Limit Break. A Sparkover bridge is named after her in that it's a bridge to a one-tile spot. And there's that pretty much the likelihood of winning Powerball and Mega Millions jackpots in the same week of searching that spot and having it be one of the overworld tiles.
And seemingly countable coordinates for Smashy here. 8 north, 39 west. Trying to recall exactly what was near Tantagle, but I believe that's just a straight shot. You can count that out. So we'll see how that plays out for Smashy if he wants to go back there. In the near future, he also doesn't know where Hawksness is yet. And he doesn't have Erdrick's sword, so he will upgrade to the hand axe.
Oh, just able to get away from a...
It does kind of feel like Lavkian's finding things in a little bit of a better order here, for whatever that's worth. Having the sword all ready to work with, and finding the armor not too far behind Smashy. If he can get to this last chest, he'll have the second of the 3 quest items. I'm not sure if he has seen both cursed belts yet. I think he just picked one up, right? So he might know now that the token has to be on a spot. So maybe not bothering to dive that last chest in the grave. He's not going to have to worry about that one that he missed earlier. So I kind of like how things are going for Lavkian in terms of like the order of the exploration, whereas Smashy's the one that's gaining the experience. So will Smashy bother with the princess here? Probably not, but he is in the vicinity now. Swamp Cave sighted. He'll probably check the tile just for potential grind situation here. So what do we have?
Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragons have heal, and Smashy doesn't have the Erdrick sword, so he's going with hurt more strats. Doesn't have heal more yet either, so this is not really that easy of an enemy. He does seem to want to beat this Blue Dragon, so I'm kind of wondering if he is going for the princess just because. He's trying real hard with the hurt more strats here. It's not working out very well. It's one of the more frustrating enemies when you don't have everything at your disposal. No sword, no heal more, but he does get him.
And Lavkian, meanwhile, had picked up a large shield in the town of Cole.
Oh, did he? Okay, large shield for Lavkian. So he's done buying or looking for equipment for the rest of the game now, concentrating really only on finding the token, which is going to be on a search spot. Doesn't necessarily need, you know, some of those chests that he missed. I don't think we've seen Stones of Sunlight Cave. We haven't seen the bottom of the grave. And I wonder if Lavkian's going to go for a preemptive princess rescue here, seemingly, you know, on his way through the swamp cave. He hasn't seen the coordinates yet for Cantlin, and he also hasn't been to Hawksnest. So this is always kind of an interesting decision if you want to get the princess preemptively on the way through or not. So Smashy must feel like there is like some water or something in the way to the west for Ron. I'm not sure if I remember that, but he went out of his way to get the princess when it seemed like he could probably count that out, but I probably am not remembering the map that well. Maybe you can't go that far to the west.
Well, we'll see here. And I don't know if we saw how far to the west that goes, if there's water in the way, or what the scenario is.
That's what I was wondering if, yeah, exactly. So, okay. Looks like it's a little bit of a windier path than I had thought. So he is going to try and track that down.
To the left and around and then down.
Yeah, and potentially back east. So Lavkian is victorious over the Blue Dragon and is going to go for the princess preemptively here. And may or may not return her right away. He could continue to explore on the other side of Swamp Cave until he gets low enough on resources where, you know, he'll have to make a decision and risk, you know, dropping the princess back into her cage here. Or he could just, you know, outside and return immediately after the acquisition. Pretty sure he still doesn't actually have the coordinates yet.
Oh, and it's the fairy flute in the overworld, so Hawksness is required.
Yep, neither player seeing that yet. So that's why I was kind of wondering about how this would play out when Smashy got the coordinates without having seen Hawksness first. Then he happened to be in the swamp cave, so I think he decided to just go after that. And Lavkian, I think, is hedging his bet here. He is going to continue exploring with the princess riding the dog here.
And the validation search on Lavkian's side as well.
I almost feel like
yes, we have seen both cursed belts.
I almost feel like Lavkian may have rescued the princess just for this animation. Probably not, but it's a nice little side effect. Kudos to the folks that have created all these extra sprites for our enjoyment, and Lavkian knows that he has an extra set of wings, so he'll use those to get back home, and Smashy's in the bonus cave.
The vanilla stones of sunlight.
Yeah, see, from Smashy's perspective, he doesn't have the sword yet.
Weaker than you.
Smashy doesn't have the sword yet, so he has to open all these chests in his travels, because You know, he may know that the token is in Hawksness at this point, but he doesn't yet have the harp or the sword, so had to check that chest in the Stones Cave, whereas I suppose Lavkian could probably skip that cave. And Lavkian does go due west to try and track down the token and runs into a bunch of water, so he's happy now that he has the princess. He'll probably take that same route around that Smashy just did, and we'll see if he gets over to the spot on low resources here. So it's funny how all these little errands that they've been running, it does cause the experience lead to kind of fluctuate. Lavkian catching up only about 100 points behind after being behind quite a bit more than that, 5 or 10 minutes ago. So this is a pretty close race now. Experience lead is not too important. Smashy's going to need the grave in a big way that Lavkian has already gotten most of the contents out of.
So back to coal for Lavkian, and is going to replenish the resources, and that gives Smashy the chance to get about another 150 experience lead.
So is this Garenham on Smashy's screen? I don't remember exactly which town was which, but this could be huge for Smashy. No, it's Hawksness, though, another big find, because we know the token is here.
It's Hawksness.
And yeah, so no heal more to work with, so there are some sketchy encounters. He doesn't have Erdrick's sword, so it's a little, let's see what he has to fight here. Oh, beautiful.
Axe Knight. Easiest enemy in the game to hurt more. Oh, but it's got hurt more of its own.
Alright, so token in possession for Smashy. He may or may not want to do a little grinding here while he's here, but I feel like he'll probably just move on. A little bit low on resources, wants to not take a death warp. He is still looking for Garenham and the grave, so... well, I guess he will try and just make it to the next level, perhaps, on this Axe Knight. Maybe he'll pick up Heal More. That would be the next really big useful thing for them. So, a few Axe Knights away from that particular benchmark. Nope, he's done. So, he's going to try and preserve his position on the map to see if he can get to Garenham without dying. If he finds it. So Lavkian needs to find Hawksness that Smashy was just successful in a moment ago, and Smashy needs to get to Garenham, which has the grave for the harp and the sword. I think they've both seen the Rainbow Drop Cave. I know Lavkian found it pretty early. Not 100% sure if Smashy has seen it yet. But with an Axe Knight tile and Hawksness for on, I feel like the exploration and getting yourself into grind and go mode fastest is priority. You know, we're only on level 11. If there's some reason why we need 5 or 6 more levels, if you can get like a 5-minute jump start on hurt mooring those Axe Knights, you're going to be in really good shape. So it's an exploration race right now because the Axe Knight grind is very fast.
And Smashy finding Brecconary, which... inexpensive inn, just 6 gold. But as far as this sea goes, that's about pretty much its only use.
Yeah, not sure how much gold he has. He could have maybe like looked for a broadsword or something, but I feel like he's just not. We're kind of late in the seed now, and he's doing well with hurt more. He knows that at some point he's going to upgrade to Erdrick's sword. So on he goes, looking furiously for Garenham. So, oh, and here's Sharlock. I'm not sure if we've seen that yet for on. So that's an important location as well.
And chat noting that Lavkian was taking his shot at 3, or essentially taking a... And while the strength is in the triple digits, not quite enough really, as even if you max rolled on all 3 hits, you'd hit for 90, and that's pretty close to the bottom end of the dragon, or the red dragon's hit point range.
Yeah, I think he knows that he had Erdrick's sword, maybe isn't totally aware that the strength score has not really been improving that great, so yeah, he's in the low triple digits for attack power right now. Does manage the metal slime victory though, so that closes the gap quite significantly with the experience race again. They're both just really just looking around on this map now. It's who gets it. Can Lavkian find Hawksness versus can Smashy find Garanham? As you know, Fearon, these maps have kind of been upgraded in 2.1.2. Some potentially windy scenarios, more rivers and bridges. This little region where Smashy's venturing through, you have to kind of work your way around and across the bridge, or some of these little dead ends here and there. So exploration has become, you know, a fairly important skill here.
Yeah, knowing all the little nooks and crannies and which way they go, that is extremely important. Especially remembering them later in the seed, when you know, oh man, did I go around this little bend here, or did I go through that desert, or which swamp patch was it? All these things, if you're trying to commit to memory, if you don't have great mapping skills,
Ooh.
It makes it a little challenging.
Look at that now, Smashy, like you said, the map there, you could have easily missed that little one-tile path that he did. He backtracked and re-explored that, and it did go through. And that was one of the ways to get to Garanham. So Smashy now takes the exploration lead. It's a pretty quick jaunt into the top of the grave here to get the sword. And he probably won't have any reason at that point to continue down further into the grave, unless he wants to look for the fighter's ring. But I imagine he is going to go straight to Hawksness. So advantage Smashy here. Lavkian needs to find Hawksness very quickly.
Now, if Lavkian finds Cantlin first, I think that may be that may be enough for Smashy. I don't want to necessarily call it for Smashy, but it will certainly make Lavkian's deficit that much greater.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. That from his perspective, it could be in either the overworld map or the or in Hawksness. Now yeah, because he got the princess before, but yeah, that was a preemptive rescue. So. Here's a town. I kind of feel like this is Cantlin. Yep. So Lavkian might be going down the rabbit hole, and there's the sword for Smashy. So pretty much grind and go, I believe, for Smashy. Not sure exactly what else he would want to be doing in here.
Maybe trying to dive the grave to see if the fighter's ring's there. The health has been a little bit scarce in terms of strength.
I think he just realized right there that he has all 3 items. Playing the harp on the stone man. Okay. He looks happy.
Yes, he does.
I'm not sure what that was, but thank you, Smashy, for letting us enjoy a little used option. I guess he's death warping here. Not sure if this is the faster route back to Hawksness from maybe going from the castle. I don't believe he's going to want to do this gold grind on the death necklace chest right now. I guess it's probably just faster routing to get back over to Hawksness, so good times. Stone Man was happy.
And it is currently active. But looks like is gonna go and trade in the, at least for now, trade in for the Staff of Rain.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that in terms of routing. So the Death Warp was the way to go. You want to take care of this first while you can. I don't remember if Smashy has seen the Rainbow Drop Cave. I don't think it was that far away, so I'm assuming he popped in there when I wasn't looking. So that would be his next stop. And then Hawk's Nest most likely for the grind, since the Blue Dragon
took it twice.
in the Swamp Tile is not a great choice. Oh, and Lavkian has Hawk's Nest now before tracking down the coordinates for Ron. This is huge for Lavkian because he's going to get the token here, and he's not going to have to go track down those overworld coordinates now. He is in grind and go mode. He can just stay right here, guys. This is big. And he's going to have to make this same journey that Smashy is doing right now to trade in the items for the Rainbow Drop at some point. But he is getting the jump start, and he just took the experience lead. Ooh, this is close.
So Smashy has the Rainbow Drop, Lavkian working on that grind.
This race is living up to the hype. And we see Sharlock for Smashy, but not going in there yet. The attack power has a ways to go. We're going to see some Axe Knights in our future here. Lavkian going to go through all the resources most likely, probably then take a Death Warp, hop on over to the Rainbow Drop Cave, take care of that, and then come straight back here.
So a comment from from High Spirits in chat. The seed looks too nice. I wonder who rolled it.
This is a pretty nice seed so far, I have to say. We have potential sub-hour if we get some giant stat gains in the near future here. We're gonna need some HP. Let's look at our stats in our on our screens here. When you're in the white, that's pretty much a no-go. So 90 HP is not enough. We're gonna need a little bit more on the hit points, and we're gonna need a little bit more strength, which translates directly to attack power. Smashy is back on the grind now with a little bit of a deficit, but that could easily be overcome while Lavkian goes to get his Rainbow Drop. So super close race.
But another factor that is kind of omitted here is that they may have to grind up to level 16 to get it, as it's not here at 13.
Yep, that's a great point. I was actually just in a casual race myself when I went all the way to the Dragon Lord and took a couple of swings and did not have Heal More. So it is very difficult to defeat the Dragon Lord without Heal More. I wouldn't advise doing what I did in that particular spot. It's a giant time loss. So yeah, they're going to have to keep an eye on that, make sure they do pick up Heal More along the way if they do get the stats that they need. We did get some strength here for Lavkian on 13, but we're not there yet stat-wise anyways.
It's so easy to do of just being so concerned on the stats and looking at the numbers that you think, all right, I'm good to go, I'm ready to fight. Oh no, where's Heal More?
Well, especially when you've been like moving through the seed like seemingly effortlessly and you've never really had any need to even use Heal More. So you have Erdrick's armor, which is heal walking you all throughout. You're hurt mooring enemies. You know, the Sharlock dive goes really easy and stuff. It's just, so, you know, sometimes you do get a whole bunch of stats, and yeah, it's, I literally forgot about it in that race. I just didn't even have any idea that I didn't have Heal More. So it's an outside chance that that can happen. It's a similar thing of like not knowing that you never learned return, and you know you're done with the game and you have to walk all the way home. So in this case they have return, so that's not a problem. But looking for Heal More and a little bit more stats. So Lavkian is going to heal up and maybe take this opportunity to trade in for the drop, but I don't think he's in the right part of the world to do that. We're all the way back over here at Cantlin.
Oh, either.
That's another small gotcha, is you walk all the way to Sharlock and try to use the Rainbow Drop and you don't have it yet. Fortunately, Sharlock is right next door to Hawksness here, so that wouldn't be a big problem.
Now replenished.
Yeah,
oh,
look
but
at
here's a
how
red dragon.
just with that in trip, Fearon, Lavkian has lost the experience lead again after getting about 500 or 600 ahead. Yeah, not a great way to deal with red dragons yet without heal more. So, gets away from that battle. They do have agility in the 80s, so able to run from a lot of enemies. I think he just now realized that he didn't get the rainbow drop because he had Sharlock on his map there, and then just cast return just like that. So let's go get the drop. Smashy, using most of his resources, takes a death orb.
And now trying to apply the memory. Where in the notes was it here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw him writing that down actually, right? At the time that he found the rainbow drop. But these maps are kind of windy. So if you didn't like draw the whole map out and you just say, well, it's kind of in that direction. But there it is. So he's got it pretty quickly. While he's doing this, Smashy has the opportunity to gain a little bit of a foothold on that experience lead. And, you know, because as soon as Smashy gets back over to Hawksness, it's literally just a race with the grind and go. This is so close, guys.
Now, this is interesting. Lavkian opting to use Repel, and that's keeping most of the enemies away. Smashy, meanwhile, running into these encounters here. On the way, but otherwise avoiding the Droll Magi's and other particular enemies here, and that'll make his commute over to Hawksness just that little bit easier.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes when you're kind of close to your destination, you sort of don't want to cast Repel because even if you get one extra encounter, a lot of times that's, you know, it takes just as long to listen to the text that says, you know, Repel has just run out or whatever that text is. So if you get like one extra encounter, it's kind of a wash. But if you get kind of bombarded like a few steps from the town, then it's like, oh, I wish I had Repel on, you know. But yeah, so Smashy has this tiniest of leads here back in Hawksness. And Lavkian furiously trying to get back to that part of the world after trading in for the drop. He's going to take an in now with half of his resources remaining to get prepared to go to Hawksness with full resources. That could enable him potentially to get all the way to 15 maybe on this cycle because they do have pretty good MP. So this is like, you know, he could take down probably 12 or 13 or 14 Axe Knights with this MP. So if he can stretch that and get all the way to 7,500, maybe that'll help him if that happens to be go time. He could save an in trip at the end, but just a tiny lead, probably like maybe a 1 minute lead for Smashy here. Maybe not even, because Smashy's going to have to go back to the inn before reaching 7,500, assuming we need to go that far. Let's see what happened at 14.
14. And the grind continues.
Yeah, looks like we got about 6 more power. Is that what you said, Fearon? I couldn't catch exactly what you mentioned about 14, but it's like we have more orange stats now, but the strength and AP attack power is still in the white.
Yeah, the differential is 6 power, 0 agility, 6 hit points, and 7 mana.
Yeah, so technically they have enough HP to fight the Dragon Lord now, although it's a little risky with, you know, they do have the low defense power since the Silver Shield wasn't easily obtainable in the seed. So they're dealing with defense in the low 80s, can still get hit by the Dragon Lord for 50 in theory. As this is another Death Warp from Smashy on the Spike tile when he's still Like, he wasn't all the way at 0 MP. That's the second time I've seen that happen. I didn't quite catch the reason there, but I don't know if he's actually missing the 1 in 16, missing the hurt more, and then he's getting counterattacked. But second time he's taken a slightly early death warp. See if that comes back to bite him. Lavkian has another 10 hurt mores to work with to try, like I said before, to get all the way to 15 on this cycle. I don't think he quite has enough to do it because he's got to use the regular heal spell in between these battles. They don't yet have heal more, so I can't think of a way where he can stretch that MP to get all the way to 7,500 here, unfortunately for him.
He needs at least 10 more Axe Knights, and with only 6 more Hurt Mores left, it's not happening.
Yeah, because it's a little bit of a walk to get this, to go to this inn that Lavkian's been going to. Smashy seems to be favoring the Death Warp. I assume that some of those were at least semi-intentional. Probably just as close. The walk to Cantlin is pretty far, So we're back in with Smashy. It's funny when you see these side-by-side grinds like this, where the inn trips are like out of sync with each other. So you see like one player get the lead, but then they have to go to the inn, and then the other player takes the lead, but then they have to go to the inn. And then, so who can time their last, level up to be like, so that they don't have to go to the inn one more time, could make the difference here.
Well, you can see this is why both of the runners are undefeated heading into this 2-0 in the first 2 weeks of the Swiss rounds. It's unfortunate.
Alright, so Smashy's back on the spike tile. He has about 1,000 points to go on this cycle to get to 15, which he should be able to do easily. Lavkian, unfortunately, is going to have to make the in trip now, just about 550 short of his level up. Getting a little bit waylaid by a gold man, almost takes a death unintentionally. And he doesn't even have enough here for repel to get back to the inn. So he's going to get these tiny enemies just pestering him. As you mentioned before, that's sometimes a little bit of a time loss. Probably doesn't have any fairy water to work with either, unfortunately. Just like that, while Lavkian's going all the way back to the inn, we see Smashy retake the experience lead with this Axe Knight kill, and he is about 4 Axe Knight victories away from level 15, which could be go time. We are looking mostly for strength. We're doing pretty well on all the other stats, kind of reasonably well anyways. And if they don't get any more MP, at this point we would be looking for about 11 more strength. So not necessarily the case that we're going to get it here on 15, but it could happen. And there's probably some other combination of stat gains that could make it happen as well, so we'll stay tuned for that while Lavkian tries to get all the way back to the spike tile.
Well, and you see here the occasional fights with these green dragons helping keep Lavkian keep at least a little bit of pace here, as he's now trailing by 400 on his way back to that Axe Knight grind.
Yeah, I like that play if you run into some of those monsters on your way back and forth to the end, because you'll be heal walking your way out of those battles for the most part. You can just, not even necessarily use your MP, or, even if you use a hurt more on a green dragon, that's just fine here. And the Demon Knight
Smashy took a death.
Oh, that's about the 3rd time that's happened for Ron, so the grind is just not going well, and it's even worse because he was 1 victory away from seeing if it was go time. So now, potentially, let's say he gets it even right now in the overworld, he would have to go back to the inn in some cases just to replenish like the small amount of MP that he just used to cast repel or whatever else. So, but no, he's gonna turn. Nope, he faked me out. He's got to walk past Charlock. Okay. using stop spell strats in the blue dragon so that he doesn't necessarily have to use a bunch of hurt mores, conserving the MP so that, and you know, again, this is forward thinking where maybe he wants to get all the way to 9750 on this cycle with 94 MP to work with. It means that you kind of want to conserve here and there if you can. Let's see if we have it on 15 though. Nope, just 2 power guys. We're going to 16. And
Nice
no
MP
heal more
though,
anyways, right?
23. Yeah. Well, no heal more anyway, but 23 MP, so we're now up to 120.
Yeah, that actually makes this pretty close. If we had something more like 126 attack power instead of 123, and we had heal more, of course, that could be something worth considering. But at 123, unfortunately, we're only doing 5 to 11 damage right now on the Dragon Lord. There's just not a really good way to make that work. The HP is so borderline that you can't count on anything extra, so at least one more level. Probably, I would say the next level is going to be the 1. So this is always a decision whether or not you want to go in for the dive and grind, but with the Axe Knight grind right next to Charlock, I feel like that's the better play. They don't really have the defense power necessarily to make for a great dive and grind right now. So back into Hawksness goes Smashy to see if he can get 16 on these resources. And unfortunately, again for Lavkian, he's going to be caught in between. I don't think he's going to be able to get to 9750 before running out of MP, and that could turn out to be a pretty big deal.
Not having that level, I believe, so he started at what had occurred with 14 and didn't have all that extra MP that would have more than likely propelled him over the top if he had the full 121 going into here.
Oh, in other words, to consider a dive and grind, you mean? Yeah, you definitely need to go to an inn at some point and get your 121. That's a lot of magic at that point. That's a lot of heal mores against the Dragon Lord, so we could have one of those battles that take a long time because you're kind of tickling it with the sword, but you have so much healing. It all depends on what sort of level up we get here on 16. It could just be one of those where it just blows everything out of the water and it's completely free, or we could just get a small amount of attack power and make it really close.
Now, comment in chat saying, too bad there's no blue dragon spike, could go faster. Now, there actually is a blue dragon spike in the swamp cave.
So, oh, I'm sorry, Feron. Let me just propose this for you. Now, Lavkian is only like 500 points away, and he's already gotten that big MP boost. Is this the time for him to go in now for the dive and grind? So, in other words, instead of coming all the way to the inn and coming all the way back to Hawksness, his chance, I think, in this race is to go in now because, you know, it's not that much more to get the level, and you're guaranteed to get heal more on 16. There's no question about that. So, I think that if he chooses to go in now, he could have a chance here. If he goes all the way back to Hawksness, it feels like Smashy could walk past him here. Although Smashy is going to have to heal up before going into Charlock also. So it's so tough here. It's so close.
Well, one thing that we don't know, I mean, level 16, while it may get heal more, there may only be a 0, 1, 2, maybe even 3 strength gain. And then it's dicey. I
don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're near Charlock anyways, though. You could just cast outside and come straight back to Hawksness if that happened. I don't know. Well, Lavkian's made the decision. He's going back to Hawksness. The Axe Knight grind is really fast, and it's fairly safe, so he's just going to polish it off here. The problem is, if it's not a really big boost, he's probably going to be using MP for these next few battles, and now he's going to have to go all the way back to an inn again. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I thought maybe if he had just gone into Charlock with the full 121, that could have saved him a little bit of time here. But anyways, he's doing it the safe way. And Smashy has managed to get it on this cycle, so let's see what he gets.
5 power, 1 speed, 2 hit points, 11 magic points, and there's heal more.
Yeah, so that's officially go time. It's not like a slam dunk though. It's not like, you know, if you run into some problems in Sherlock, it could be an issue, you know, but it's with that much magic, yeah, 128 attack power is easily enough. The HP is in the green now, although, you know, still need to be a little bit careful. Trying to remember from what do we have for Sherlock enemies that are really nasty? Do we have any sleep wielding bad guys this time?
Well, I just commentated prior to this.
I know, it's so tough to keep the seeds, you know, keep from mixing up the seeds. So Smashy is going straight in. Just a slight lead over Lavkian, who's continuing to grind here. Oh, this feels like such a mistake. I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening on Lavkian's screen because he has so much magic to work with. I feel like this is a clear go time, but I guess he's hoping that Sherlock is so nasty that another level is required. What am I missing here, Fearon? Do you see any reason to go to 17 here? I think this is... You have to go at 16 here, I think. I just don't remember any end game enemies that are posing like really nasty threats, like wombo combos and things like that. The agility score is there. It's not like we have a very low agility seed to kind of worry about or anything like that. I don't know. The numbers seem like they're there, but if for some reason Smashy can't get it done on 16, then of course Lavkian will have 17. And, you know, at that point, he'll have the advantage.
Yeah, my guess is that Sherlock is the concern, and we saw that there was a golem with the Dragon Lord 2 breath, for example.
Yeah, just interestingly, Smashy's the one that tracked on those overworld coordinates and got the flute, and Lavkian does not have the flute, so very tiny bit of difference there. If the golem happens to be the mini boss before the Dragon Lord, for example, that could be a thing. Neither player has picked up the fighter's ring either, by the way, and I think almost all the chests have been opened, so if you really felt like it was borderline, you could go down there and look for the ring as well. I don't know.
Well, this is clearly if all of his resources, I think it's safe to say he's got this.
I mean, I feel like Smashy can burn 2 or 3 heal more, so if there is something, you know, that goes wrong, he's got some cushion here, I think.
Yeah, he can probably use...
Dragon Lord can hit him for 49, so we'll keep that in mind. He does have 101 HP. It all seems to work out nicely, I think. But
yeah, he can probably burn 2, maybe 3 heal mores with a little bit.
Right. And he's already in the 3rd zone now, so hasn't run into any obstacles so far. So Lavkian's going to go back to an inn and presumably make his way into Sherlock, just a couple of minutes behind. Definitely just one failed dive away from taking the lead now.
And he set himself up to fight some favorable enemies if he runs into any, and that will be enough to get level 17, as I believe he's only, well, we'll see here, 261 experience away from 17. From the Red Dragon.
Yeah, I'm not sure necessarily how all of the regular players actually do their Dragon Lord math, if they calculate it out every time. I've taken to the point where I've just written out a chart so that in the heat of the moment you don't like miscalculate or something like that. So not sure if these 2 players use the same methodology, but that's one way to go. So Lavkian is going in while Smashy finds the blue dragon on the boss tile. going with the stop spell strat, since he does have a little bit of extra MP, at 128, you still have the same amount of heal Morris for the Dragon Lord as you would at 130 or 132. So blocks the spell, makes it through this battle, preserving all. You know, if he makes it through, he'll preserve all of his magic. He's used a few herbs, I think. Oh, and as I say that, we have a red dragon.
Oh, wow.
So this is a little scary. I mean, sometimes they just refuse to let you run away here. So that was one heal more burned. He has a pile of herbs, so shouldn't be a problem if he can actually get to the Dragon Lord. And here we go. Should be okay here. He's probably not going to accept the offer for half the world, so he becomes a fool. In the mind of the Dragon Lord, at least. Oh, and he gets the stop spell right away. Good start for Smashy.
Double stop spell. Wow. That's his...
Yeah, that was super clean. Didn't even have to use herbs. Gets the extra turn on the way into this battle, and he's going to be doing between 7 and 14 damage here. So let's look for more double-digit rolls and less single-digit rolls here. Should have a little bit to spare if all goes well. Let's look out also at only 101 HP. There are some potential situations where you get a bad heal more roll and you can be forced to double heal. So it's not out of the woods yet, but so far seems pretty comfortable.
Up to 51 now with just 11 heal mores left.
Out of the corner of our eye, we'll see Lavkian making 17, see if he gets anything significant. 3 more power. So just that much more to work with for Lavkian. This is a very long fight, remember? These are relatively low hits and a lot of magic, so I feel like we've been watching Smashy fight the Dragon Lord for a few minutes already. Still has a ways to go.
We're up to 94. Thank you, the Hangry Canuck, for keeping track along with us here. Dragon Lord can have up to 165, anywhere from 150 to 165. Now with 6 heal mores to go, it's still looking pretty good here. Ooh, low roll.
Lavkian getting run blocked repeatedly by Armored Knights, but he's got all sorts of extra MP to work with. Already down some MP, but he should be fine when he gets there. So Smashy getting down to his last couple of heal mores. What's going on here?
Oh, we're at 133, now 143. So probably 2 more attacks away, maybe 3 tops. So 155. Next attack should do it here. And it does. 166, and Smashy is going to go ahead and get the victory here and go to 3-0 here in the first 3 weeks of the Swiss tournament, and has punched his ticket into the bracket stages.
All right, GG for Smashy. Congratulations, as Lavkian is approaching the mini-boss now. Also uses the stop spell strats, and it lands first try, preserving the extra heal mores. Seemingly, he's going to be able to get through this blue dragon pretty easily, and should have a very good chance at the Dragon Lord here with the 3 extra attack power. Here we go for Lavkian.
And you see Smashy's official SRL time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 4 seconds.
Lavkian taking some time to chat with Smashy there, most likely, and now he's going to continue with the fight.
Well, I can confirm Lavkian took a moment. He saw that the Smashy had finished, and he had typed in GG, I'm on DL1. So I can confirm Lavkian
that little
took a moment.
pause
He
was
saw
just to
that,
acknowledge
Smashy
the
had
victory.
finished, and he
Yep,
had
absolutely good
typed in
sportsmanship
GG,
from
I'm on
Lavkian,
DL1. So
and a very solid run.
that little pause.
Fortunately, this is a turn-based game, so you can pause as long as you want in the middle of a battle, and you won't get hit. So it's always nice.
So far, GG. Or GG, since apparently Discord decided to eat my words.
I'm seeing Smashy with us, but I haven't heard him yet.
Because I'm a ninja.
Ninja. Hey, good. Congrats on the victory. What'd you think about this quick seed here?
Yeah, I was really scared about it because I took so many deaths on the grind. Like,
Yeah,
I was trying to conserve MP, and then I'd get ambushed and failed to run or couldn't one-shot with the hurt more.
Yeah, I saw that out of the corner of my eye a couple times that happened to you, and I thought that maybe you were like missing with the hurt more, like at bad times or something.
Yeah, I had a couple of those as well, where I just missed with hurt more, and it's just like, ah.
Yeah, and actually, as it turns out, one of the big differences here, it was super close, and Lavkian decided to continue grinding to 17 while you went into Sharlock, so I'm interested to ask him about that when he comes in, but it was like really close when you guys were on the grind, so
yeah, did he
it was
actually,
funny because...
He actually beat me into the dive, or was I diving first?
No, because he continued grinding the Axe Knight all the way up to 17, or like close to 17. So, yeah, you were in Sharlock first, but you know the experience lead before you got to 16 was like dead even. So it was a close race for sure. Yeah, it looked like I guess you were looking mostly for Garanham so that you could pick up the sword and the harp, and Lavkian had already done that, but hadn't seen a couple of the things that you needed, or that you had already gotten. So it's just one of those things, and then you both found what you needed basically at the same time, and then the grind was on side by side, like it was super close.
Yeah, it was actually a bit interesting on this map, because I actually figured out that it was single continent, because I had went south early and got locked by that big swamp, and then when I was coming over from Sharlock, I had a bit of a, wait a minute, this looks familiar. And then
yeah, that seems to happen more often these days, and it does add some extra kind of, it's a little bit tricky sometimes.
Yeah, and that's why I was so quick to rescue the princess, because I was kind of thinking, based on how quickly the land stopped going to the west, I was kind of thinking it might have been on that second continent that I was thinking was a thing. And that's why I was so quick to rescue the princess.
Yep, and you ended up tracking that down first before continuing to try and find Hawksness, and got the flute as the prize there. I'm sure at that point you had probably seen the 2 cursed belts, so you knew, they had to be somewhere. Oh, you hadn't gotten that far yet. Okay.
One was in Garanham. I mean, that flute did help out because the golem did have Dragon Lord breath. So I got hit with that on the very top floor of Sharlock and just said, nope, I'm going to toot the flute.
Did you go on 16?
I did.
Okay, that's why I lost. GG.
Yeah, what's going on, Lavkian? What happened with that? I guess that was my main question for you as well.
I honestly, I think 99.9% of the time we don't both go south, we don't get the sword immediately, so I felt like I had enough of a lead, and I felt like 16 was too close, so I went to 17, and that's clearly how I lost. So, GG Smashy.
Well, I didn't go south very early, but at the same time we had hurt more. So I was able to... There was a zone right around hole that was a whole bunch of like those mid-tier enemies. I was just getting a bunch of experience that way.
So I guess up to Feron, did he have a lead over me early because of?
It was
early on,
pretty
yeah,
back
early
and
on
forth.
it went back and forth.
Yeah,
from
because
what I'm hearing, this was back and forth all the way.
so I ran into a little bit of a problem that I wish I'd recognized earlier, because I've run into this problem before and it's cost me in a casual race. We had really high agility early, Erdrick's armor early, I grabbed a large shield early, and I was repelling things that I would have rather been fighting, and I didn't recognize that for quite a while. So I was, even though I was like walking around on the map and finding things, I wasn't fighting things, and there was probably a good 5 or 10 minutes of map exploration I did where I wasn't getting fights with like things that I could actually fight because we didn't have heal more. So like there was a red dragon that killed me that I could have easily killed if we had heal more. There was a demon knight in the grave that killed me right before I got to the last chest, which would have been meaningless if I'd gotten it anyway, apparently. And that killed me, which wouldn't have killed me if I'd gotten heal more. And so I recognized eventually that I needed to stop casting Repel because it was costing me experience. And so it sounds like, Smashy, you found a good spot to grind in. I didn't really stop to grind much at all after we got hurt more.
It was less of just stopping and grinding and more just, oh hey, here's some nice enemies to burn on the way to my objective.
Yeah, see, and I was hitting Repel as soon as we got it, so I wasn't seeing that stuff. And I was using like random fairy waters that we would pick up too, and I wasn't recognizing that like we had 79 agility at like level 11, or 79 defense. If you had Erdrick's armor and the large shield, you had 79 defense at level 11. And so things that you would want to fight, you aren't seeing, and the things you're seeing, you mostly can't fight because of not having heal more. My other question, I guess, then is exactly how early you got the sword. I had it at 13 minutes.
I had, I believe, the armor at like 17 minutes, but I actually got the sword as the last thing.
Yeah, so yeah, I screwed up. So that's unfortunate, but GG's, man.
Yeah, seemed like a great race from our perspective. When you watch it, you'll see how close it was. Pretty much right until the end, it was, you know, Smashy just took the turn and went into Sharlock, and you did end up getting the one extra level. But prior to that, you know, you forget what you were looking for at the end, Lavkian. Mostly, I think it took a while to just find Hawk's Nest, which did have the token, and it turned out to be the grind spot also. But I think you still needed that. And Smashy was looking everywhere for Garanham, which had the harp and the sword. And then you guys both kind of like found it at the same time, and then you were just like in grind mode like together. So it was a really good race.
Yeah, I made some navigation mistakes. I went left right out of Tantagel thinking that was the way to Garanham about 3 or 4 times. I swept the area around Garanham and what was that? Garanham and Rimmeldar. I swept that area at least twice because I wasn't sure that I'd fully explored it. And then I finally was like, okay, everything else has to be on the opposite continent. So then I went there, and yeah, if I don't do that, and if I don't get the extra level, then I probably have a better shot at winning. But
so one of the very nice things about coming into this race 2-0, Lavkian, is now you're just 2-1, so you're still in great shape. And two races left in Swiss rounds to get it done. And Smashy, you've automatically moved on to the bracket stages now.
Yay, I did better than the league.
that league seemed like it would have been pretty tough with the different flag settings. But yeah, congrats on making the bracket. And yeah, you only need one more win to potentially get yourself a bye, as I understand it. So good luck on that.
Cool. Fearon, do we have more races going on tonight? What do you think?
Oh goodness, yes. I think we've had all told 7 races here this evening. Let me go over so actually just starting about a little over 20 minutes ago, and I think that may be where we'll throw the host to after this here if we can, is going to be over on the main Randomania channel. It's going to be G limit break to close out the night here. We have 2 more one-on-one matchups. It's going to be Vani Van against Chitin 619 and Couch 23 against Captain Green 7.
And that one's at 11 o'clock, you said?
That is at 11 o'clock. That is coming up in just a little over a half hour from now is the start on that on RPG Limit Break. And this is just a few of the 32 moment. It looks like we have 6 more races set up for tomorrow night, starting as early as 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So just about 17 and a half hours from now, the racing continues here. So it's going to be fast and furious throughout the entire week, and it looks like Sunday is going to be rather rampant as well, as I see 5 and more than likely a 6th, as I know my race is scheduled that day. Just we don't have had the time quite pinned down yet.
Yeah, a few more races still have to be scheduled for week 3, but we're in full swing, and we've seen some good ones already. And it's kind of a fun part of the tournament now, where we're shaking out what's going to happen getting towards brackets. You know, we have a big pile of people at 1-1, and those are going to be really important races. So this whole middle part of the week seems to be jam-packed. So yeah, don't miss out the next couple days. All sorts of races to watch.
Yeah, I think I'm jumping in on comms in about half an hour, so I'm glad that this one was pretty quick. And yes, Fearon, you were kind enough.
Yeah, I went into the IRC chat, and the first only you can prevent reseeds, as I was the one who rolled this thing.
Also, if he happens to be in chat or watch back this VOD, shoutouts to Mr. Holmes. He's the reason why I picked the dog sprite. It's kind of a reference to something that I said during our last chat.
Well, I was thinking of going with Mike Jones, but then I decided to go back to Beatman.
Ooh, Mike Jones is the one I'll have to use for the next race. Is Beatman something that you added? Is that in the randomizer?
It's Christo.
Oh, Beatman. Oh, I thought you were talking about like a Mega Man thing for some reason. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, Beatman with 2 sticks. Because that was the thing I did.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm going to go make some notes for this upcoming quad. GG, Smashy, and good luck in your future races. Good luck getting that.
Yeah, I'll try to get there. Although I expect some really tough competition at 3-0.
All right, GG, both of you guys. Nice clinic of how to run one of these seeds on the faster side with the early hurt more. Guys both did a great job.
Well, make sure to give both of our runners a follow here, as they gave you a heck of a race, just shy of 3.5 minutes apart in terms of a finish here. So make sure to give Lavkian and Smashy a follow. And then I want to thank the folks behind the scenes here. Tilo doing a heck of a job in his debut. More than solid tracker, and up to NG, a darn fine commentator and then some, and always a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Looking forward to more. Always a pleasure.
And you can give me a follow as well, as now I'm finally streaming after 19 months in the making. I'm FearonBurgundy for everybody behind the scenes, and for our runners and everybody here among the Randomania networks. Until next time, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. Good night, everyone.